The modes. Oh my gosh, so much confusion. I remember the first 100 times someone tried to explain to me the modes, what they were and how they worked. I had no idea what they were talking about. Some people just respond differently to different ways of being taught certain things, and I think the modes is one of those things that can be taught in so many different ways. There's a lot of confusion between guitarists, and that's why I wanted to do a series on the modes to kind of help people out that maybe had the same hurdles that I had in really understanding them. So first of all, what are modes on a guitar? I mean, if you think of modes in different walks of life, it's a good thing to kind of segue into them. Like, for instance, a video game, right? A video game has different modes of difficulty. You can play it on easy, medium, hard, super hard, stuff like that. Now, it's the same video game that you're playing, but it's going to be a totally different experience depending on which mode of that you choose. And musical modes aren't really that much different. A lot of times people would show me a chart that looks like this, and I would have no idea what to do with that. I think one of the things that gets a lot of people hung up is you try to have the modes and everything they can do explained to you all at once, and it can be overwhelming. So we're going to try to break this down a little bit simpler. So let's look at what a mode is and how it works. Let's start off in a key. Now, a key is a group of notes that sound good together. In most music that we listen to, a key is 7 different notes, right? So in the key of C, for instance, the notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. If you don't know how to get those notes, I'll leave a link in the description showing how you come about those notes through intervals. Now, just like chords, we've been doing a lot of chord videos, any of these 7 notes can become a different triad chord, a different 3-note chord, either major, minor, or diminished. Now, if you go one step further, any of these notes can become a different 4-note chord, a 7th chord, right? We've done those in a couple videos too. Now, another step further, any single one of these notes can become a mode. The names of the modes are kind of weird. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, sometimes pronounced Locrian, and then you go back again to the beginning. Now, Ionian and Aeolian have 2 more common names, major and minor. Now, I want you to think about modes as different scales within one parent scale, so to speak, right? So, the first mode in the key of C would just be C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Now it would sound like this. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then end where it started on another C, okay? Now the second mode would be D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. So that would sound like this. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Now, this is kind of like what we referenced with that video game thing. We played the exact same notes, we just started on one note further, right? So the second mode in C is going to be D's mode. Now the third mode in the key of C is going to be E's mode, E's scale. E's scale is going to sound like this. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. So now you might already have an ear for how these are sounding different. Kind of like the difficulty in the video game. We're experiencing a different kind of musical feeling, even though we're playing the exact same notes in the same order, just one step through, right? Now, F's mode would be F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. G's mode would be G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A's mode would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And B's mode would be B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And that brings us back to C, right? Now, how does that help us? The one distinction I want to make is learning the modes and applying the modes are 2 totally different things. So that's why I'm going to make a few videos on this. And the first one is just going to be learning the modes. And essentially what we're going to be doing is learning a different hand position for each of the 7 modes. So we're going to learn 7 different shapes. Now, I want to start out with 2 very distinctive shapes that you actually might already know, and these are 2 modes, right? The first mode and the 6th mode. It might seem weird skipping from the first one to the 6th one, but there's a reason for this. And the reason is because we're really familiar with both of these, right? So here's the first mode in the key of C, which is called the Ionian mode, otherwise known more popularly as the major scale, right? So again, every finger gets its own fret, with your index finger starting on the 7th fret, but the first note we're going to play is your middle finger. So middle, pinky, which is 8, 10, C, D, middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky, index, ring, pinky. So it's one octave of this mode, this scale, the major scale, right? Now, the other mode we're going to use as a reference is actually going to be the 6th mode in the key of C. So if C is 1, D, E, F, G, A. So A is going to be the 6th note. A is going to be its own mode. We're actually going to kind of think of it as its own scale called the Aeolian mode, or more commonly referred to as the minor scale. All right. So if you root your pointer finger on the 5th fret of the E string, which is an A, it's going to go index, ring, pinky, index, ring, pinky, index, ring. Okay. So we have 2 of them right now. We have the first mode, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then the 6th mode, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So you might already be able to pick out the differences between them. And this one sounds kind of happy, I guess, in a rudimentary way of thinking. This one sounds sad, somber, whatever. Now, if you actually see the layout, the map of it, you can see that they stack right on top of each other. And the top of one shape, when I say the top, like if I'm looking down at my hand, the side closest to the headstock is actually the bottom of this shape, right? So it's kind of like a puzzle. We have 7 different shapes, and they're all going to interlock together and repeat up and down the neck, okay? So again, major scale and the minor scale. So we're going to go into depth for each of the different modes, but for example, like let's take let's take the 5th mode, right? So this is G's mode. We're going to start on a G, which is the 3rd fret here, and we're going to play the major scale, but we're going to have a flat 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 8. And this is how we're going to learn all these modes, okay? Just by one mode being an alteration of another one. So like the 2nd mode is going to be a sharp 6. The 5th mode is going to be a flat 7. I think this is the best way to start doing this and to start making puzzle pieces you can interlock together so you get a better idea of how the modes fit together and how they work.